Although there are no distinct characters on Gang Beast's roster, its jelly fighters can be dressed up in all sorts of different regalia, much like the beans from Fall Guys or Among Us. Unlike those other games though, the costumes in Gang Beast do give advantages and disadvantages in gameplay. So today on Game Rant, let's look at 10 costumes that will give you an advantage in Gang Beasts. First off, at number 10, we have 3D glasses. The 3D glasses have the ability to block certain incoming attacks. It's a small area, but if a dropkick or a punch lands in the face area around the eyes, its effect will likely be negated. This allows players to stand there and look all cool as their opponent's blows don't even phase them. Next up at number 9, we have the cape. Of course, the characters in Gang Beasts are far from superheroes. Either way, putting on the cape is sure to give them a cool look. It gives a slight tactical advantage too though, as it hangs off of their back. It makes that area of the body extremely difficult to grab. Opponents will likely end up grabbing the cape instead, which can be easily slipped out of. Following that, at number 8, we have the chef's apron. Much like the cape, the chef's apron makes the character much more difficult to grab. This item protects the front, however, which makes it slightly more useful as the most devastating grabs usually come from the front. After that, at number 7, we have SWAT gear. The SWAT gear is a little fickle in how much protection it offers. Some attacks from enemies will have their impact softened if they strike the main parts of the gear, but only some attacks. A regular punch will likely bounce off, but a headbutt strike will hit with the same force. Next up then, at number 6, we have the Walrus head. The Walrus costume is technically one of the best, but unfortunately it isn't available for everyone, as it was a DLC costume from 2015, and that's why I don't have gameplay for it here. Regardless, the Walrus head has double the power on its headbutts, which is incredible. It means that any headbutt is virtually guaranteed to KO whenever it makes contact with an enemy. After that, at number 5, we have the pirate outfit. The pirate outfit set will be of use to anyone looking for a defensive advantage in the game. The shoulder pads on the jacket make being grabbed and lifted there almost impossible. Additionally, it's one of the most robust costumes and can occasionally glitch slightly, causing a KO on the opponent. After that, at number 4, we have long beards. There are several costumes in Gang Beasts that feature long beards on the face of the player model. These are extremely useful in combat. The power of the face fuzz turns out to be stronger than SWAT gear, as it will half any damage taken from striking it. It doesn't have the widest coverage, but it means that about half of the head will be cushioned from forceful impacts. Next up, at number 3, we have the Rhino costume. This costume has very similar functionality to that of the Walrus head, except this has the advantage of being available to more than a small handful of players. In truth, most of the animal head costumes will give a boost to headbutting power. The cat and fox costumes give very strong headbutts too, but the Rhino just beats them out as the strongest. Even though it is technically worse, if used effectively, it will have the same impact as the Walrus head. Following that, we have the trench coat. Like the cape and the chef's apron, the looser material makes the player harder to grab and be picked up, except instead of just covering one side of the body, the trench coat covers the whole body. On top of that, even when your opponent finally does get a lift, the size and shape of the coat make going over barriers and the like a lot more difficult, and players who use it are likely to be infuriated in the fight. Then finally, at number 1, we have the burger hat. This is arguably the best defensive attire in the entire game. Its bulk and surface area make being grabbed in the head area almost impossible, something which is a huge boon in a game all about that. Additionally, it's big enough that it could quite easily save players from falling through some gaps, keeping them in the fight as long as possible. So those are the 10 best costumes in Gang Beasts, and thanks for watching.